Welcome everyone, this is Silver casting another game on the North American ladders. This is a Masters level match between two Zergs, and representing the red Zerg in the bottom right corner of the rink is Ace, and in the top left corner is me, representing the blue. So we have a good old fashioned Zerg on Zerg roundup. However, I have spotted that Meat is already taking the lead in this game, considering he has the custom Overlord skin with the dreadlocks, and those dreadlocks are quite powerful. They are already giving him an advantage over his opponent. And we'll see. Zerg vs. Zerg is a pretty fun matchup to watch and play because a lot of crazy stuff can happen. Because there's creep at both the bases, which can spread all the way across the map here. And the threat of an early pool is ridiculous. And I've also noticed that a lot of Zergs are complaining that Mutalisks are too strong, so Zerg vs. Zerg actually just ends up in a Mutalist battle. So we'll see if that is actually the case here, as it looks like the scout for Meat is underway, as well as the scout for Ace. Meat has started scouting just a little bit earlier, and we'll see if that can pay off in any way, shape, or form. So the Overlords look like they might just pass each other, or just not. There's actually, they can't see each other yet. So Meat's drone is now entering his opponent's base, probably getting some useful information here. He is actually looking around for a pool right now, but he does see Ace's drone go off and probably build a hatchery, considering he does have a lot of resources, and he might try to delay this here. Ace's drone has started attacking Meat. Let's see how Meat responds. He decides to attack in response. We have a drone one-on-one. Who will win? I think Meat is probably going to have to pull off here, as Ace's drone has a little bit more HP, and he does. Looks like he'll be able to save that as Ace drops his expansion. So that did delay him a bit, and in the meantime, Meat has actually started his spawning pool quite early compared to his opponent. We'll see if he decides to go for an early attack here, as he is not. It doesn't look like he's building a hatchery at this point. He's actually continuing to produce drones instead of saving up the money for the hatchery. So right now, we probably might have a Zergling rush, considering Meat is saving his larvae. He does have 3. He is saving his money, so once that pool is complete, he will be able to build a queen and 3 sets of lings. As the drone for Meat that was originally scouting is still going in and out of the base, however Ace has picked it up and is now following it. And Ace going for the expansion is going to give him an economic lead over his opponent. However, the early lings may be able to disrupt that, as he has already started the speed upgrade for the bling, so he's definitely going for an early attack, and he has 8 blings in production. Now in the meantime, Ace's spawning pool is just finishing, so he might be able to defend here if he can get enough lings out in time. However, Meat's drone that has the original scouting drone has returned to Ace's almost complete expansion. We'll see what if he decides to build something with this, like a spine, and there it is. There's 1 spine. He has actually 2 more drones here. Ace is responding by building a spine in return. And there's actually another spine drop by each player, and the drones are going at it yet again. This is probably an even fight, but Ace decides to pull off and try to save this drone's life. There is 2 Zerglings on the field for Ace and 10 for Meat, as Meat's lings have finally come here. The Ace's lings are retreating. He does not have enough here. He is going straight for the spine. Let's see if he can force a cancel. There's 1 cancel, and he drops another spine in return. Aces go for that, and they manage to actually kill it off, so that is a couple of resources lost there. And however, Meat's spine has been complete and are now attacking these drones. We'll see what Ace decides to do here. However, he's outnumbered in the spine count. He probably won't be able to do much, as he actually unburrows his spine and tries to retreat it. We'll see if he can save it. It is very low on HP. The lings are speed upgrade have it come, and it's going for the spine crawler. We'll see if he make it. However, Ace's lings are doing a great job of managing to defend this, as the spine makes it safely. More lings are coming out for Ace. They looks like he is almost about even in number compared to his opponent. However, these 2 spines here are going to prevent him from being able to defend his hatchery. So this hatchery will most likely fall, giving Meat the lead here, and he is burrowing his barely alive spine at the top of his base. However, in the meantime, he has transitioned into Banelings to try to kill off these lings, because a Baneling will one-shot Zerglings, and he is already morphing in 6 Banelings. While Meat, on the other hand, has actually decided to go Banelings as well. So it's now Banelings versus Banelings, as these spines have killed off the hatchery and are going on this cocoon, which they managed to get it. That's pretty cool, actually, because the Overlord didn't spawn, supply capping Ace. However, now there is a group of Speedlings at his base. However, he does have the Banelings here to respawn. He sends out 1 Baneling here. Let's see if he do it. And that is a great detonation, actually, killing all of the Zerglings that were threatening his base. So we'll see how that matches up in the units lost have. It's actually a little bit even, favoring Meat because he managed to take down that hatchery, but it's anyone's game here because it looks like I'm not sure what's going to happen. They have pretty even unit compositions at this point, and Ace makes the unfortunate decision of trying to go for these spines if he realizes that this creep will eventually dry up, making the spines useless. We'll see what he decides to do here. And in the production tab, Ace is finally getting metabolic speed for his lings. In the meantime, Meat has decided to drop a hatchery, so he is actually getting his first expansion up before his opponent, considering. And Ace decides to attack these spines. It looks like he will probably be able to take him out, as the spines do go down, and that Baneling unfortunately isn't able to make it out in time, so he is free to open up his expansion as well. However, Meat is a little bit ahead in his expansion by 50 seconds. And Ace has amassed a decent amount of Zerglings and Banelings in the meantime. We'll see if he decides to attack with those. And his opponent has roughly the same unit composition. He's actually a little bit behind, so he might be able to turn something here as his units are positioning himself outside his base. However, Meat is actually moving out with a full-fledged attack as his speed boost is up and he sees his opponent is not, thanks to his Overlord. So we'll see what happens as he has a few Banelings mixed in here. Maybe he can do something. He sends a couple Zerglings to go straight for those Banelings, and this is actually quite micro-intensive because if you miss micro those Banelings, they will just detonate on one Zergling, not really the desired effect. There's a Baneling for a Baneling there as they just went suicide against each other. This Queen, however, might be able to get surrounded. However, Ace responds, his speed boost has just finished, so it is a pretty even matchup. However, he does have a lot more Banelings than his opponent. And we'll see here as he is sending in one Baneling at a time to try to get a sweet detonation against these. And in the meantime, he has sent a Zergling counterattack to the north to attack his opponent's base. There's not actually a lot of Zerglings here. We'll see if he can turn something, as a couple more Zerglings are running in to go for these Banelings. I believe they haven't gotten any yet. And the attack at the main base, however, has gotten there. There's not enough to defend. They're going straight for the hatchery. I'm not sure if that's the best idea. They might want to go for the Queen or something instead. However, this hatchery is slowly falling, and we'll see how Meat decides to respond to this. And it looks like the Zerglings are going to pick up one drone kill here. And at the Ace's base, there is a Zergling for a Zergling battle, as he actually doesn't have a lot of Zerglings left. However, he does have enough Banelings to deal with this. At Meat's base, this hatchery is still going down. It is roughly at 30%. However, Zerglings are spawning for Meat. We'll see if they can do something here. He's actually pulled all his drones off the line to try to clean this up. Maybe a little bit of overkill, as there's only 4 Speedlings. However, they are going to town and they're getting a lot of work kills. In the meantime, there has been more action down here as the Banelings are moving in for Ace, getting a couple great detonations here as Meat is forced to retreat. And it looks like he has finally cleaned up this attack at his base, and it looks like this Queen might be able to snipe this Overlord as it's trying to escape. He is almost out of range. There's a couple of hits left, and it looks like he makes it. Now Ace has decided to attack with a fair amount of Lings here, and Banelings are underway, so he is actually continuing with the pressure, and Meat has decided to do the same. There's 4 Banelings versus a couple Banelings. The detonations are going off. Looks like that is an even trade, and at Meat's base, there the attack has been deflected. However, there are more Lings here, and the Banelings are soon to come. Let's see if they can do anything, as Banelings are exploding, taking out Ace's Lings. This has been quite a matchup here, as it is non-stop Ling versus Ling action. However, he does pull the drones. This could be bad. These Banelings can get great detonations. They managed to take off, it looks like, 3 drones as he does escape. And these Banelings are still running around creating havoc. His Queen is almost dead for Meat, as the more Zerglings are spawning for Meat. So it looks like he might be able to hold on here. However, that was substantial detonations by the Banelings. We'll see if they manage to actually do something, as the resources lost tab is actually looking quite even for both of those players, giving Meat a slight edge. Because think about it, a Baneling explodes and it manages to take out a lot of people, but the Baneling is also dead. So it's pretty interesting. Let's see what's going on for the tech. Now Ace has actually built a lair and is now on to a Spire. Now that means he will have Mutalisk very soon. His opponent has no Hydralisk or Spire under construction, so he might not be able to defend this. He has to drop some spines now, as 4 Mutalisks are being built by Ace. So the Muta versus Muta action might be happening might be happening very soon. But it looks like the economies are about even, so Meat should have enough money to start building some upper tier units. We'll see what he decides to do with that. He actually hasn't started building a tech structure, which will He might be in a little bit of trouble here, considering the mutas for Ace they are on the field, 4 mutas at a time. So we'll see if these mutas can actually do something, considering his only anti-air is queens. But he does, however, have a fair amount of queens. He has he has 3 queens, so that might be able to defend against 4 mutas as there's more action. It's the mutas slowly picking off the banelings that are streaming into his base. There's 4 mutas here. We'll see if they can do some damage as me as respawning by seeing those mutalisks by building several spine crawlers and hydralisks. We'll see if it is enough here. He's built those as natural, where Ace is going in. There's 2 queens here to defend this. We'll see if he can do something. He takes down 1 queen that was already low, and here it looks like he's going straight on the other. We'll see if this queen can actually pull off an attack, or a good micro pulls that mutalisk back. It looks like he's second queen will fall. However, the spores have been complete for him at both his bases, so it looks like this attack will probably be deflected, and he is building hydralisks. So we'll see how Hydralisk versus Muta stacked up. As you can see, Ace is ahead in the supply. We'll see how that stacks up in the army supply and everything else. So there it is. Ace is severely ahead in the army supply as his Mutalisks are now on the field and they are taking apart this. Too bad. That was the original Overlord Scout for me, the Dreadlock. But unfortunately, the Dreadlock haircut did not give him enough advantage to make him live, and as Ace has taken on another Overlord, giving him a lead in the Resources Lost tab. So yeah, pretty exciting stuff that's going on. Ace is working on his +1 upgrade. Zerglings are streaming down to probably attack, as Ace has now dropped the 3rd. This Overlord will scout it, so we'll see where those Mutalisks end up. And there's actually a lot of Mutalisks in play. They might be able to do something. He's going straight for the Hydralisk den to prevent any Hydralisks from being complete. And there are 4 Hydralisks underway now, as these Mutas are being attacked by queens from both sides. I think he will be able to take it out here, as that Hydralisk den is going to fall, and there it goes. It explodes in a Blade of Glory, as he is now switching over to the queens. However, he is in range of the Spore Collar, will start doing substantial damage. He has lost 1 Muta so far, and it looks like 1 more might follow. However, he is now currently focusing down the Overlords of his opponents, probably trying to force his flybox, and the Hydralisks are almost complete for 8, almost complete for meat, so he might be able to defend this with all his queens and all his hydras. The queens are here, and so are the hydras. The spores are going to town. Ace loses another Mutalisk as he decides to pull off due to the Hydralisk. So he managed to get a couple nice kills there, putting him a little further ahead. However, the Hydralisk have spawned, which might be able to deter any more attacks. However, he is deciding to try to deny some gas, and the bounces are hitting the drones, doing minor damage. His queen is here bravely defending against this Mutaflock, and the Mutas decide to retreat. In the meantime, Ace has built his 3rd base, so he's once again a base up on his opponent, and which is going to put me further behind in the income tab, as these Mutalisks are still continuing to be a pain, and these Hydralisks are moving into position to defend this. So the Mutalisks have backed off for now, and in the production tab, Ace has actually transitioned into Swarm Host. So he will have Swarm Host on the field soon. Swarm Host muted Lings. Haven't really seen that too much, but we'll see if that works out for him, as he is ahead in the army supply. He is ahead in the econ. So, well, he's around tied, but once that 3rd base is underway, he will be ahead there. And the Mutalisks are going against the Hydras. It looks like they're going to be forced to pull off, as the Hydras are in mass now. There's currently 6 of them. I believe this many Mutas could take that many Hydras, but we'll see if it's enough. And he is gearing up for a Ling attack on the base. 1 Bingling explodes to defend these Lings, as that was probably not a cost-effective trade because of Bingling for a Ling. And a Nidus has been dropped for one of the players. I don't know where. Oh, a Nidus has dropped for me and is now attacking Ace's 3rd. In the meantime, the Lings are in the main base, are doing substantial damage, but these Hydralisks here might be able to take this bait. However, there is some Swarm Hosts, and we'll see if they can do anything. They managed to not take out any. They take out 1 of the Swarm Hosts before they are killed, and the Mutalisks here are, however, saved the day. It looks like he will be able to clean up this attack, as the attack at Meat's base has been cleaned up as well. However, his drones aren't mining now, so he is losing more mining time, so I believe Ace has actually pulled ahead in this battle by quite a lot, considering he is now 2,000 resources up on his opponent, and Meat just decides to leave there. So there you have it. That was quite an exciting game, where Ace finally pulled ahead in the lead with the early mutas, which the mass mutas kind of cleaned up everything. So that was a pretty fun game to watch. There was a lot of attacks, a lot of counterattacks. There was constant action by both of these players, and I think Meat decided to give up, considering he did just lose a lot of drones, His opponent did have a third, and those Mutalisks in that many number were going to be difficult for the number of Hydras he had. So without the GG, he decided to leave. And there you have it. That was Meat versus Ace on the both Masters on the North American ladder. Once again, my name is Silver. Thank you for watching. If you liked my videos, please subscribe and send your replays to thesilvercaster032 at gmail.com. So thanks for tuning in, and go out there and get your game on.